guys and welcome to today's video. Today I have my blusher, bronzer and highlighter drawer. It's quite an extreme drawer. I was considering kind of breaking this up into just blush, just bronzer, just highlight, but I feel that the videos will be a little bit too short. I think this one might be too long, but that's what I'm going to go with. If you follow me on Instagram, I mentioned that I'm feeling a bit today. I think it's because it's snowing, and like typically I do like the snow, but I feel like because of lockdown it feels that we're not allowed out. Because of lockdown we're allowed to go out for a short walk every day, and I'm really enjoying my walks, but it's snowing, so it's really cold, and also it's so slippy because it's turned icy, so it's not even something I really want to do. I've put on this really bright obnoxious jumper. This is actually Michael's, but I really like it, so I've put it on and I just want to be off my phone for a little bit and sort through these. That said, I am going to do what I done last video, and I'm going to ask on Instagram for people's opinions on what I should keep and what I should get rid of. But a lot of the products here I really love, so I don't know, I'm weirdly quite attached to bronzers and highlighters and blushes, so we'll see how we get on. If you haven't seen my other decluttering videos, I will link those down below. There's a whole playlist of them. I've decluttered my eyeshadow palettes, I've decluttered my lipsticks, my foundations, and one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. But today let's get started with decluttering my bronzers, blushes and highlighters. So I think a good place to start is with me pulling out anything that I really love. There's a lot going on in here. Talk about what I'm going to keep first, and I'm definitely not getting rid of. Firstly, and undoubtedly a product that I love and that I'm keeping, this is the Chanel Soleil de Tan, and this is actually the old one. I feel like I shouldn't show you what it looks like inside because they always look very grubby, but I love mine. I'm going to keep it. I will definitely repurchase this soon and buy the new version of it, but even though this isn't the new version, I still love this product. It's my favourite. I haven't tried the new version, so who knows, maybe I won't even like that one as much, but 100% keeping this. It's just a fabulous product. It is pricey, but just love it. I think I'll probably always have one of these in my collection. Then this is from Fenty. I don't have loads of Fenty products, but the ones I do have I really enjoy. This is the Stalker Bronzer in Shady Biz. I love this. I think if you're looking for just a really great neutral toned bronzer, I would highly recommend this. It just applies beautifully. Great bronzer. I think actually those two products are probably the ones that I'm definitely keeping, so I'm going to clear everything out and sort bronzers into one section, highlighters into another section, and blush into another section. So this here is all the blush I own, largely. There may be like some other like palette-y bits elsewhere, but largely this is all the blush I own. I really think that actually I'm going to end up keeping a lot of this stuff. There are a couple of maybes, so I guess we'll get started and kind of pick out a few maybes. Okay, the first is this Clinique Colourpop blush. I think I'm going to keep this because I just think these are really great blushes. This is in the shade Pink Pop. I don't have any of the other ones, so I feel like it'd be a shame to not keep any of these because I do just think they're great, relatively affordable blushes. I then have Benefit Havana. Now I used to really kind of collect these, I guess, but the truth is I'm not really reaching for this very much. It's made up of a few different shades. It's got a kind of shimmery peach and then like a darker colour and a lighter colour. You kind of swirl them all together. I guess you could use them separately, but I would typically swirl them all together. It's what I'm going to ask about on Instagram because I'm a bit unsure about it, if I'm completely honest. Then I have this from the Balm. Now this I'm going to get rid of just because I've had it for too long, I think. I think with powders it's okay to keep them for a little bit longer, but I think this one might just be too long, and also it's seen better days. This is in the colour Frat Boy, and honestly this is just such a beautiful blush. It looks very wearable. I would highly recommend this colour. It's just beautiful. It looks really nice on the skin as well, but I've just had it too long, so it's one I'm going to get rid of. Then I have 5 cloud paints. I'm going to keep all 5. I haven't used them all. I kind of want to have a bit more of a play with them. I really like the idea of them, and I don't have that many liquid or cream blushes, so I'm going to hold on to those. Then we can quickly touch on Bourjois blushes in particular. I absolutely love. Generally I love Bourjois as a brand, but as I mentioned previously in another video, they're no longer available in the UK, but these little pots are just beautiful. If you're looking for blush and you're in Europe or maybe even in America, these are really great. They're just stunning. That said, I don't know if I want to keep all 3. The scoring that you can see in these is because if you do have a mineral product that sometimes ends up with a seal from the oils of your brush, if you scratch into them it really helps you get the pigment out. So I have 3 shades. I have Rose D'Or. Rose D'Or was one of my favourites. It used to be quite heavily compared to Nars Orgasm, but I think this is far more gold than Nars Orgasm in my opinion. Then this one here is Rose Amber. It's pink but definitely leaning more brown than the previous colour. Then we have Frosted Rose, which is beautiful as well if I'm honest. And honestly, I don't know which one I want to keep now. I actually loved Rose d'Or, which is Golden Rose, for the longest time, but I think maybe I'm going to get rid of that one because it is quite a frosted pink, and I don't typically love those sort of colours as much as I used to. And I have 3 Bobbi Brown blushes, 2 of these lip and cheek pot rouges. Now I have the shade Maui and then also the shade Powder Pink. Now Powder Pink is completely brand new and is actually far less pink, I would say, than Maui. That said, I really like these. I'm going to hold on to both, although I probably can't hold on to them for too much longer as they are cream products, so likely to go off, especially if you're sticking your finger in them, unlike with like the cloud paint. But then I also have this blush from Bobbi Brown. I have had this a while, but I just think it's beautiful and I'm going to hold on to that a bit longer. And this is Pretty Coral, and it's just one of their standard powder blushes. Bareminerals, again, really beautiful blushes. This is in the shade Pink Me Up. I love these blushes. I think this is the only one I've got because I just can't hold on to every blusher, but if I could, I would, and these are great, so I'm definitely holding on to this one. I do have a lot of pinks though, and I think that's an issue. Everything seems to be very similar in colour. Another blush, and it's again another pink. This is from Tarte. This is in the shade Fearless, but it is beautiful. I don't really have much from Tarte, if anything else at all, so I'm going to hold on to that. Again, I don't have anything else from Florence by Mills, so I'm going to hold on to this too. This is a cream blush in the shade Stella Sabrina, so since my name is Sabrina, that's another reason for me to hold on to this, I think. But what I think I am going to let go is this from MAC. It's not that I don't think it's beautiful, I do, but it's kind of somewhere between a blush. Actually, I guess maybe it's more of a highlight, but it's just a bit chunky. It's just not the most beautiful highlight in my opinion. I guess I've put this in the wrong pot, but I think I'm just happy to let this go. Another MAC blush. This one is beautiful, even if we open it and have a look inside. Stunning. I love the peach underneath and the pink on top, so I think that's going to be one I'm going to hold on to. Now, one that, if I'm completely honest, I have had for a bit too long, but I'm just going to hold on to anyway, is this one from Tom Ford. I just think it's beautiful. It doesn't look like much in the pan, but once you apply it to your skin, it's just a beautiful shade. It's kind of a darker pinky brown shade, but it's got a shimmer which is just stunning, and you can't, it's not really a shimmer, it's like a sheen. Honestly, really beautiful blusher, and this is in the shade Ravish. My only Charlotte Tilbury blush, this is the Cheek to Chic blush in the colour Sex on Fire. I'm going to hold on to it because it's the only one I have, and actually I really do like this colour, from Zoeva. And inside, this is the Coral Spectrum one. I find these blush palettes really quite useful, so holding on to that. This is a blush, bronzer and highlight palette. Again, great for travel. This is from Bareminerals. And yeah, I'm going to hold on to that. I mean, we have done absolutely terribly here, by the way. I've got rid of not even a handful of items yet. This is the Marc Jacobs blush. Again, my only Marc Jacobs blush. Beautiful, gonna hold on to it. I have Coralista. Now, I have had this for ages. I really don't have very many coral blushes, if any. That's the only thing I would say. This is definitely the most orange blush I own, so I'm tempted to just hold on to it anyway. But you can tell how old it is by the packaging. The packaging is still the ones where the lid comes off. Now they do them so that the lid remains on like this. So a bit unsure. Maybe this is going to be one I ask about on Instagram, and maybe I get rid of that. I've mentioned before, I love Hourglass. I'm going to hold on to this. This is Strobe Lighting Blush in Euphoric Fusion. Unfortunately, going to hold on to that. We have a Becca Blush. I must admit, I'm not wild about this packaging. It's just super sticky, and like, it just seems that you can't really make it unstick. It's very strange. This is actually maybe one I'm going to get rid of. I mean, it's beautiful. It's in the colour Wild Honey. Oh, actually, I think that is stunning. It's kind of more somewhere between a bronzer and a blush, I would say. But I think that would work really well at warming up the skin. Onto a few liquid products. I have the Giorgio Armani A blush in the colour 30. I really like this. It's actually a peachy shade, which, like I mentioned before, I don't really have a lot of peach blushes. It's kind of more orange, I guess, but really very nice. I took this one on holiday with me and I wore it a fair amount. I then have a Becca Beach Tint. It's quite a cult product, I would say. It's in the shade Watermelon, I want to say. It doesn't say, but I think this is in the shade Watermelon. I could have totally made that up. I mean, actually, I'm not really sure if this is the sort of shade I would wear. So maybe that's another one we get rid of. I'm going to ask on Instagram about that one. Also, if you spotted my really bad fake tan here, please excuse it, I tried to remove it but clearly didn't go well. And then finally 2 blush sticks. There's one from Cargo, which I'm probably going to hold on to because it's the only Cargo product I have. But this is a really lovely, quite sheeny, quite sheer peach shade. And then from Bobbi Brown, this is the Glow Stick Illuminator Stick. So again, I guess it's in the wrong category, but you know, we're just going to roll with it. And this is a highlight. I don't know if you can kind of see it's there. Oh, but then I don't know. I'm going to put this in my highlight drawer. We'll come back to it when we hit that drawer. And then I have 2 blushes from Nars, and both of them are Orgasm Blush. I just don't need both, it's just silly. I actually think I've got a mini one of these somewhere, so I definitely don't need 2 more in here. I think I'm actually just going to put these in my collection drawer. I've mentioned I have like a special place where I put my collection products, and I think that's where this is going to go. I mean, this one's brand new too, but I just think this packaging is beautiful, so I think I'm actually going to move this one into my collection, possibly move on to this once I finish the other one, which is not looking like it'll be anytime soon, but the possibility is there. And then finally I have 3 by Terry blushes. Actually, these are called Terribly Denseless Contouring. But let's have a little look inside. These are so heavy. So I have the shade 300 Peach Spirit, which is beautiful. The only thing is, I do think that these look like they're quite chunky glitter. Yeah, there's like definitely chunky silver sparkles in there, although it could just be along the top. Then I have Fresh Contrast, which again probably shouldn't be in this section, but it is. And then finally I have 400, which is Rosy Shape. I think I can definitely get rid of one of these, so I think I'm going to ask on Instagram as to which one I should get rid of. So that was honestly nowhere near as successful as I'd hoped, but let's move on to highlight. There's quite a lot going on here. I probably don't really highlight that much, if I'm completely honest, and I very much stick to the same highlights. That said, there are some products in here which are kind of contour slash highlights, so I guess we'll start with those. The first one is Charlotte Tilbury's Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is in the shade medium dark. Honestly, this is too dark for me, but I'm still going to keep it because I still think it's a very useful palette. Kind of not so much for contouring or highlighting. Well, it is, but not in like a standard way. I would use this more if I wanted to kind of add a bit of colour to my eye because it is quite dark, or if I wanted to really heavily contour, I would first go in with a lighter one and then just go in with this really into the hollows of my cheeks to really sculpt that out. But admittedly, this is too dark for me, but I am gonna hold on to it. Then we have this from Studio 10. This is a really, really beautiful, a cool toned contour, so actually probably one I'm gonna hold on to. I really had no idea that blush, bronzer and highlight was going to be where I crumbled and where I done abysmally at decluttering, but here we are. Then this is the Becca Low Light Highlight Perfecting Palette Press. Again, I'm going to hold on to this. This is a great, very cool toned, a bit grey. Like, I think you're supposed to kind of have more cool toned colours like this in contours, but I do find that sometimes they go a bit ashy on me, but still going to hold on to it and kind of see how I get on with it. And that highlight is Intense. Don't know if you can see, it's just there. And then I do have some highlighter palettes. This is the Too Faced Medium Turn Up Light Complexion Enhancing Highlighter Palette. Honestly, I don't really reach for this that much, which is tempting me not to keep it. I've kind of never been really blown away by this palette, so I think actually maybe it's going to be one that I ask on Instagram, potential for it to go, so we're going to leave it over here. Then I have this, which is the Manizer Sisters palette from the Balm. This Mary Illuminizer highlight is really, really stunning, and although I don't really reach for these two, I kind of feel like I'm happy enough to hold on to this just for this. I used to have this in a big form, but I don't know where that is, so I'm assuming I no longer have that. I think I'd be quite sad to see this go, so I'm going to hold on to it. One of my only products from Morphe, I think I've got one palette as well from them. I definitely don't have a lot from Morphe. This is a highlight. It is quite a yellow highlight. I don't think I'm wowed by it. I'm going to ask on Instagram. This is in the colour Lit, and it's one of their high impact highlighters. I mean, I've just done so bad with blush that I need to let a few things go from here. This is Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to hold on to this. Just stunning. Bareminerals, again, another beautiful highlight. I'm going to hold on to that one. Another Charlotte Tilbury. This, I just look at it, I would still want to keep it, so I'm going to. This one I actually think I might let go. I don't know why, like I've never really loved this palette. They're just here. I feel like this shade is stunning, but I don't know, maybe I'm going to challenge myself to actually use this, but I am unsure about it. It's from Code 8, and the Code 8 is a brand I really, really love, which is why I'm tempted to keep it. Then from Delilah, it's the Pure Light Compact Illuminating Powder. So maybe this is a powder. Nope, this is definitely a highlight. At least I think it is. And actually that is stunning, much nicer than I expected. So maybe I'll hold on to that. See, this compared to, for example, the Morphe, which is kind of similar in tone, but the Morphe is just a little bit chunkier. And it's kind of got a green undertone compared to the Delilah. This I think is quite lime green. I don't know. Can you tell? Like, that's just a little bit more natural and nicer than the Morphe. Okay, then I have 4 Nars Capri, which is, I just don't have enough fingers for this, quite a pinky white shade, I guess. And then I have Albatross, which is a very popular one. I guess it's slightly yellower than the previous one, which is looking very pink now. I have Fort de France, which is just there, and it's kind of a bit peachier. Oh, I just want to keep all of them. They're just beautiful. And then finally, this one is Ibiza. That I guess is more golden, and probably the one I'm going to get rid of, but I might ask on Instagram. I'm kind of between this one, maybe the first one. Maybe I'll ask which one I'll keep between those two. But the other two I'm going to hold on to. Then I have this Becca cream highlight, beautiful, holding on to that. And then a Becca powder highlight, again, stunning. And I'll hold on to that. That is in the shade Rose Quartz. From Nars, I have the Nars Orgasm highlight, which I'm going to hold on to. Then I also have Super Orgasm Illuminator, which again, I'm going to hold on to. And then from YSL, I have the Touche Éclat Glow Shot, which I'm actually a little bit uncertain about. I think maybe it's going to be one that I get rid of. That seems very, very light. Then I have 3 Cover FX liquid highlighters. There's just no reason for me to have 3. I think I'm definitely going to get rid of this one, which is Rose Gold. I just feel like it's too dark for me, just here. But I'm going to keep Moonlight, because Moonlight is beautiful, and just there. And then with Celestial, I'm a little bit uncertain, to be honest, because it's quite pink and quite silver. Maybe one I let go of as well. Then from Hourglass, I have 2 highlights. These are stick highlights. I have Gold Flash and Champagne Flash. So Gold Flash is this colour just here, and Champagne Flash is this colour. I'm probably leaning towards Champagne, but maybe I'll ask again on Instagram. I'm definitely just keeping 1 though, 2 is too many. And then we have just here, this is the Nars Orgasm Multiple. I think that's what these are called. Really, really beautiful. Definitely keeping that. I feel like that's more of a blush than a highlight, but we're here at the moment. Then I have this really stunning Bareminerals highlight in the shade Iridescent Quartz. Honestly, I really love that, but I just feel like I've got other stuff that's quite similar. It's got quite a orgasm vibe to it because it's got the pink with the real gold shimmer. I don't know, I just feel like I've got other stuff that's quite similar, so I'm happy to let that one go. And then there's this one, which is the Bobbi Brown Illuminizer stick in Glow Stick. Really, really beautiful, very natural, but I don't know, I think I would wear that quite a lot. So gonna keep those 2 on either side and get rid of the middle one. Finally onto bronzer. We've done blush. And again, there's probably a few bits in here which are contour products. This here, for example, is the Becca Lohu Light Highlight Perfecting Powder. So it's the same as the other one, except this one is a cream. I really haven't used this very much, but I'd quite like to. So I'm gonna hold on to it. And I actually have a few other ones that I need to get rid of that are similar. It's a good one to hold on to, because I am getting rid of this, which is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Intensity 1 contour palette, I guess, just because I've just had this for too long. Honestly, I never really loved this. Like, I just think that's very brown. If we compare that to the Becca, like the Becca one is just that little bit cooler. So I just feel like this one just isn't quite right for me, and I've had it too long anyway, so definitely getting rid of this Tom Ford one. Now in this little collection, I definitely have some doubles, I have some triples. That's pretty excessive, but I have this tiny mini hula, which I really like to travel with, and then I have 2 full-size hulas, which is just a bit excessive. The reason I have 2 is because I started using this one, and then Benefit kindly sent me this one. This one has my name on it, so then I ended up holding on to it. But I am going to let one go. I mean, they're exactly the same. I'm just going to pass one on to my cousin because I think she quite likes this bronzer, and there's no point in me having 2. Then I have 2 Nars Lagoonas. I guess I may as well get rid of one of these 2. I'll hold on to this one, which is the one that's clearly been used the most. Again, I guess I'll give this to my cousin as well. I don't know if she really needs 2 new bronzers, but she's getting them. Oh, I am also going to keep the mini Hoola because I like to travel with that one, and I'm going to keep Hoola Light because it is a great bronzer, especially if I want to really layer up bronzers. This is a great one to start with. I'll compare it quickly to the other one. It is significantly lighter, still really like it. Then I have 4 of the Terracotta blushes by Guerlain. Now, are they all in the same shade? Okay, they're not the same shade. And this one here is actually in limited edition packaging. Well, at least the outside part is. So this is 1 Claire Brunettes, 2 which is natural blondes, and this one is in this rubbery packaging. I then have this one, which I think was a limited edition at some point. I think these are all limited editions actually, and I have had them for a while, but I still want to hold on to them because they're just so beautiful, and I feel like they're real like makeup collectors products. And then finally I have 4, which is deep golden. Again, this probably isn't one that I will use very much, but it's still one I want to hold on to because they're just pretty. Another Guerlain bronzing product is this, which is the Tinted Skincare Jelly. Now, I really don't use this very much at all, but I do like the idea of it, and I don't really have many products like this, so I am going to keep it, unfortunately. This is a really underrated bronzer in my opinion. It's from a brand called Winky Lux, which isn't a brand I hear loads about if I'm completely honest. This bronzer looks like this. This is in the shade Latte, and again, it's one I definitely recommend if you're fairer or if you're looking to really layer up the bronzers. I really like to start with this one. And then usually I also like to use this one, which is from MAC. I've had this honestly a long time, but it is a powder, and you know, I'm just using it on myself. This is just matte bronze from MAC. I mean, I'm almost finished. This is definitely one of my more used bronzers, and I really love it. I love this bronzer. I quite like these terracotta ones. I love this Winky Lux, and then I really like the Chanel Sol de Teint, which I mentioned earlier, and the Fenty one. Those are probably like my 5 favourite bronzers, which is a lot, but you know, they're really great. Okay, this is from Hourglass. Again, I'm going to hold on to it. It's a little bit on the lighter side. These sort of mineralized products from Hourglass are just really beautiful and glowy. Holding on to that, that's Nude Bronze Light. From Smashbox, honestly, I have almost finished this palette. I think I would consider repurchasing this one. This shade here in particular I just love, as you can tell. I don't know, I'm going to hold on to it because I just think it's a great staple product. I travel with it every now and then, and honestly it's one that I actually do reach for quite a lot. Sorry, some of these clips are out of focus. I'm really trying to keep them in focus, but it's not been as easy as I'd hoped. Then from Becca, oh, this is a highlight. What's it doing here? I mean, that is beautiful though. I'm definitely keeping this. Becca highlights are honestly stunning. So wrong place, but beautiful. Holding on to that. This is a Bareminerals Bronzer. Like I said, I'm a big Bareminerals fan. I think they're kind of unexciting, but they do really great product. And this is a great bronzer, so I'm going to hold on to it. This is the shade Warmth, and it's their Endless Summer bronzer. And then finally, I've got one palette here, which I know for a fact I'm going to hold on to. This is a By Terry palette. It was a limited edition. I really haven't used much of it. I'm going to keep hold of it anyway because it looks like this. It's just beautiful. And again, even if I don't use it, it's just one I would love to keep in my collection. That went okay. Like, honestly, that wasn't the best clear out I've ever done, but at least I got rid of some products. These here are the products that I didn't even ask on Instagram. I'm just getting rid of. Either some of them are going in the bin, some of them I just knew I definitely didn't want, so I'm just going to get rid of them. These I asked on Instagram and they're going, but people did tell me to keep the Champagne Flash highlighter instead of the Golden Flash highlighter. And then this here is Ibiza highlight from Nars, which I'm keeping. These here I think are too close to tell. I'm gonna have to try these on and decide which one I'm gonna keep, because the truth is you can't really tell on an Instagram post, and I totally get that. This though from Too Faced, I actually think I'm gonna get rid of. There was a unanimous keep on Instagram, and I try not to go against what people on Instagram say because I feel like that defeats the purpose of these videos. But the truth is this is too chunky, as in the packaging is too chunky. It's just not worth me keeping it. It takes up so much space, so I think I'm actually just happy to let that go. Again, I'm gonna pass it on to my cousin, and I think she'll get a lot more wear out of it than I will. Oh, there is also a Hoola bronzer from over there which fell, but that's going as well. So this is what my blush drawer now looks like. Honestly, it's still a bit full, but you know, we can clear out some more as we go along over the next couple of months. And it's still a bit neater and I'm a bit happier with it. Oh, honestly, I got a bit fed up of tidying, so I feel like this is just a bit of a mess down here, but like it's still relatively tidy. I'm still quite happy with it. There's definitely less product, not masses less, but there is a bit less. There's also this, but this is going to go somewhere else, not in here. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, do like it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and don't forget to check out my other videos that are decluttering videos, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.